Hello students, in the last class I asked you all to complete this problem. I want you all to check your answers. So the first table is less than 4, less than 8, less than 12, less than 16, less than 20, less than 24, less than 28 and less than 32. So how you are supposed to solve it? You are supposed to make a frequency distribution table. So let's make frequency distribution table. Your first column will be class and second column will be frequency. So because the difference is 4, okay, so my class interval is going to be 0 to 4 and then 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20, 20 to 24, 24 to 28 and 28 to 30. Frequency, first number as it is 6 and then you start writing the difference. 15 minus 6 is 9, 25 minus 15 is 10, 40 minus 25 is 15, 60 minus 40 is 20, 68 minus 60 is 8, 75 minus 68, 69, 70, so 7, 80 minus 75 is 5. Okay. So the total of frequency should be 80. Okay. Similarly, I asked you to solve this also. So class and frequency. So about 20, that is 20 to 40. Above 40 would be 40 to 60, then 60 to 80, 80 to 100, 100 to 120, 120 to 140, 140 to 160 and last above 160, so 160 to 180. So in this case my frequencies will be, write the last number as it is, which is 4, and then start writing the difference. So 9 minus 4, 5, 16 minus 9 is 7, 28 minus 16, 8 minus 6 is 2 and 2 minus 1 is 1, 12, 43 minus 28, 43 minus 28, 15 and then 52 minus 43, so 9, right? Yeah, 9. Then 57 minus 52 is 5 and then 60 minus 57 is 3. When you total this, it would be 60. I believe all my students have done correctly. Okay, you need to remember this because many students forget to convert these numbers into frequency. Okay. Okay, now the next basic which you need to know is converting inclusive class into exclusive class. Now in case the first chapter of statistics is measure of central tendency, in which you will be computing arithmetic mean, median, mode, geometric mean and harmonic mean. So you have to convert, if inclusive class is given, you have to convert into exclusive class in case of calculating median and mode, okay, which you will be studying while solving the sums. Okay, so let's convert inclusive class into exclusive class. So first thing what you do is you take the upper limit of the first interval and take the lower limit of the second interval. Okay, so upper limit of the first interval and lower limit of the second interval. So what you do is lower limit of the second interval minus upper limit of the first interval divide by 2. That is the formula. Okay, so 10 minus 9 divide by 2. Okay, so 10 minus 9 divided by 2 is 1 by 2, which is 0.5. So then this is the correction factor. Okay, now what you do, you subtract 0.5 from all the lower limits and you add 0.5 to all the upper limits. Okay, and this is how you convert inclusive class into exclusive class. So what you do, you take upper limit of the first interval and take lower limit of the second interval, the difference divide by 2. Okay, and then you get the correction factor. You subtract from the lower limit and add to the upper limit. Got it? Now here it is 0 to 9, 10 to 19, right? So the correction factor is 0.5. You have to add 0.5 to the upper limit and deduct 0.5 from the lower limit. Okay, I'll do it here itself. So that becomes easy. So now in case of exclusive class, this is inclusive class, right? So in case of exclusive class, you subtract from the lower limit 0.5. So 0 minus 0.5 is minus 0.5. So minus 0.5 to 9.5, because you are adding 0.5 to the upper limit. And then you subtract 0.5 from 10. When you subtract 0.5 from 10, you get 9.5. And you add 0.5 to the upper limit. So to 19.5. Subtract 0.5 from 20. So it becomes 19.5 to, and add 0.5 to 29. So 29.5. Okay. So similarly 29.5 to 39.5, 39.5 to 49.5, 49.5 to 59.5, 59.5 to 69.5, 69.5 to 79.5. And this way you convert inclusive class into exclusive class. Okay. Let's see the next problem. The class is 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 19, 20 to 24. So this is inclusive class, right? Okay. The upper limit of first class and lower limit of second class is not same, right? So this is inclusive class. You have to convert it into exclusive class. So what do? You see the correction factor. Correction factor is lower limit of second class minus upper limit of first class. Lower limit of second class is 5. So 5 minus 4. Upper limit of first class is 4, correct? Lower limit of second class minus upper limit of first class. Divide by 2. So 1 divide by 2. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. Right? So you will subtract 0.5 from the lower limit and add 0.5 to upper limit. When you subtract 0.5 to lower limit, your class will become minus 0.5 to 4, right? And then not 4, sorry, 4.5. you have to add 0.5 to 4, right? And then 4.5 to 9.5, 9.5 to 14.5. Instead of writing 2, you can just write like this: 9.5, 0.5 to 4.5, 4.5 to 9.5, 9.5 to 14.5, then 14.5 to 19.5, 19.5 to 24.5, 24.5 to 29.5, 29.5 to 34.5. Right? So now this is a frequency, you have to write as it is. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 5, 3, 2. This will not change. Okay, your class intervals, you will change. You have to subtract correction factor to the lower limit and add correction factor to upper limit. Subtract correction factor from lower limit and add to upper limit. Okay. Now it is not necessary that every time correction factor will be 0.5. If the difference is 1, the correction factor is going to be 0.5. But it is not necessary that correction factor is always 0.5. Okay. Now see, in this case, class is 6 to 6.9, 7 to 7.9. So here lower limit of second class is 7 minus upper limit of first class, which is 6.9, divide by 2. So the difference is 0.1. 0.1 divided by 2. So when you do 0.1 divided by 2, you get 0.05. Correct? So you have to subtract 0.05 from the upper limit and add 0.05 to lower limit. Okay? So now when I subtract 0.05, it will become 5.95 to 6.95. Then 6.95 to 7.95. Right? And 7.95, you are subtracting 0.05 from 8. So you get 7.95. And then adding 0.05 to 8.9. So it becomes 8.95. And from 9 you subtract 0.05. Then you get 8.95. And then you add 0.05 to 9.9. So what you get? 9.95. Right? Correct? Okay. So it is not necessary that correction factor is always 0.5. Okay. If the difference between first digit of the upper limit, if the difference between lower limit of second class minus upper limit of first class, if the difference is 1, the correction factor is 0.05. So you have to check what is the difference. If the difference is 2 or if difference is 0.05. Okay, if the difference is 0.1, so the correction factor keeps on changing. Okay. Let's start the first chapter. The first chapter is measures of central tendency. Okay, in this chapter you will be learning to calculate arithmetic mean, median, mode, geometric mean, and harmonic mean. Okay, so let's start with arithmetic mean. So there are three methods to compute arithmetic mean. Okay, firstly you might have to calculate if it is individual series or discrete series or continuous series. Now what is individual series, discrete series and continuous series? In case of individual series, only the variables will be given, that is only x will be given. For example 5, 6, 7, 8 and compute arithmetic mean. Okay, this is individual series. In case of discrete series, frequency will be given. So x is there and frequency is there. So x is suppose 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so yeah, so suppose marks of 10 students. Okay, and the marks are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 5 students got 1 mark, 6 students got 2 marks, 7 students got 3 marks and 8 students got 4 marks. So here there will be x and there is frequency. Okay, now when marks of 4 students are given, like 5, 6, 7, 8, or marks of 10 students are given, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 5. So these are marks of few students. Okay, if it is given this way, it is individual series. Okay, now here the marks of students are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, or maybe 10, 20. These are the marks. And how many students? Number of students are here. Okay, so this is called as discrete series. And then continuous series. In case of continuous series, now marks are given like suppose 0 to 10 and 10 to 20, 20 to 30, this way. So marks of many students are given. Marks is between 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 and frequency is suppose 5, 2, 3. So 5 students got marks between 0 to 10. 2 students got marks between 10 to 20. 3 students got marks between 20 to 30. It's like this. Okay. So this, when marks of many students are given, only the marks are given. Okay, or if height of people are given. Okay, so only the detail is given in that. This is called as individual series if the detail is given this way. In case of discrete series, the detail is given, like marks is also given and number of students are also given. Okay, so now in this case, now The marks are, suppose 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 15, 25. These are the marks of the people, and when frequency is given, that means 5 students got 10 marks, 6 students got 20 marks, 7 students got 30 marks, 8 students got 40 marks, 2 students got 15 marks, 3 students got 25 marks. So this is discrete series. In case of continuous series, there is class interval. Okay, like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Okay, so 5 students got marks between 0 to 10. 2 students got marks between 10 to 20. 3 students got marks between 20 to 30. Now 14 students got marks between 30 to 40. So this is continuous series. Okay. We studied this while doing basics as well. See here, the question is given in, this is individual series where only the marks is there. So we can represent the marks by saying x. So only the variable is there, right? And we converted it into discrete series, right? Where you have 2 columns, one is marks and one is frequency. Tally bar, obviously we'll use tally bar to make frequency table, right? So in the question, if only marks are given, that is individual series. Okay, if marks and frequency is given, that is discrete series. Okay, and continuous series, when the data is too big, you use continuous series. For example, here, right? Now this is individual series and you converted it into continuous series. Okay, so in case of continuous series, what you did, you made class intervals like this, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, right? And you found out the frequency, which is 6, 7, 3. So this means 6 students got marks between 0 to 10. Okay, 7 students got marks between 10 to 20, right? So you converted individual series into continuous series, right? We did this in our basics. Okay, so while computing measures of central tendency, the formulas are different for different series. Okay, so only when the data is small, when the data is small, we use individual series. When the data is little big, we use discrete series. Okay, and when the data is very big, we use continuous series. Okay, so in individual series, so random marks are given of 25 students. So this is here, this much. This is individual series. Okay, and you converted it into discrete series here. Okay, so in case of discrete series, when you see the data, it is more precise. So when you see here, you come to know that 1 student got 10 marks, 1 student got 15 mark, 4 student got 20 mark, 6 student got 25 mark, right? So this is discrete series. And in case of continuous series, when the data is too big, what we do is we write in class interval. So 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. So here 6 students got 0 to 10 marks, 7 students got 10 to 20 mark, 3 students got 20 to 30 mark. This is a continuous series. Okay, so you can convert individual series into discrete series and discrete series into continuous series. Okay, you can convert individual series into continuous series also. Okay, you will not be asked to convert it. Okay, so this is only to let you know what is individual series, what is discrete series, and what is continuous series. Now we will learn to calculate arithmetic mean in case of individual series. So the formula is x bar is equal to summation x upon n. When you are calculating arithmetic mean, you are calculating average. Okay. In this chapter, you are actually computing average. Okay. So arithmetic mean is denoted by this x bar. Okay. If x bar is there, that means this is arithmetic mean, sign of arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is denoted by x bar. The formula to calculate arithmetic mean in case of individual series is summation x upon n. Summation x means total of x divided by n, and x is the variable and n is number of items. Okay. Now suppose wages of 10 employees are given. So the wages are 1780, 1760, 1790, 1750, 1740. Okay. 1920, 1100, 1810, 1810 and 1950. This is 1840. Okay. So the wages of 10 employees are given. You are supposed to calculate arithmetic mean. This is the question. Okay. Wages of 10 employees are given. You are supposed to calculate arithmetic mean. So what you will do? So my x, this is the variable. Okay. So I'll write everything 1980, 1760, 1790, 1750, 1840, 1920, 1100, 1810, 1810 and 1950. So this is my variable x, only x is given. This is individual series. Okay. The formula to calculate arithmetic mean is summation x bar is equal to summation x upon n. Summation x means total of x. So when you total this is called as summation x. Okay. When you total it, you get 17510. So this is the total of x column. Okay. And n is number of items. How many number of items are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10. So 17510 divide by 10. When I divide by 10, I get 1750. No, so sorry, 1751. So arithmetic mean of the given data, that is wages of 10 students, okay, wages of 10 people, okay, is 1751. So average, arithmetic mean means you have to compute average. Okay, and this is the formula. Okay. So this method is direct method. So we computed arithmetic mean using direct method. There are two more methods which is called as deviation method and step deviation method. So let us compute arithmetic mean using deviation method. It is also called as shortcut method. So this is direct method. Okay. Let us compute using shortcut method. So in case of shortcut method, it is also called as deviation method. Okay. shortcut method or deviation method, in that case we will take any one of these item as A. We can take any number. I will take the first number as A. Okay. You take first number as A. Okay. And then the formula in case of shortcut method is x bar is equal to A plus submission D upon. Okay, so A plus submission D upon N. This is shortcut method or deviation method. So where D is equal to X minus A. Okay, N is number of items. A is any value you can take as, assume as A. You can take any number as A. I have taken 1780 as A. You can take any number. Okay, so next column I'll write D. So D is X minus A. Here A is 1780. X, now 1780 minus 1780 is 0. Then 1760 minus 1780 is 20, minus 20. Right? Then 1790 minus 1780. So X minus A. X is 1780, 1760, 1790. These are X, right? These are X. So you just keep on subtracting 1780 from X. So 1780 minus 1780 is 0. 1760 minus 1780 is minus 20. 1790 minus 1780 is 17 1750 minus 1780 is minus 30. 1840 minus 1780, it comes to 60. 1920 minus 1780 is 140. 1100 minus 1780, it comes to minus 680. 1810 minus 1780, it comes to 30. 30 again. 1950 minus 1780, it's 170. Okay, so you have computed D, which is X minus A. Okay, you total it. When you total it, you get submission D. Okay, you get minus 290 in this case. Okay, now the formula is X bar is equal to A plus submission D upon N. This is the formula. Put a bracket to avoid confusion. Bodmer's rule, first you multiply and divide and then you add, right? But many students get confused. They add first and divide later. So better you put a bracket so you don't confuse it. So yeah. So my A is 1780 plus submission D is minus 290. Divide by 10 because there are 10 numbers. Correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number of items is 10. So what you get? 1780 plus minus 29. Plus into minus is minus. Okay. So 1780 1780 minus 29. When you minus it, you get 1751. So this is using shortcut method or deviation method. The answer is going to be the same. See, 1751, here also 1751. Okay. And the next method is step deviation method. In case of in this case, you cannot use step deviation method. Okay. In case of individual series, you can either use deviation method or direct method. Okay. Step deviation method is not possible. Okay. But in case of discrete series, there is one more method, which is step deviation method, and we will be solving discrete series in the next class. Thank you very much, students. I hope you understood how to compute arithmetic mean if it is individual series. There are two methods to compute arithmetic mean in case of individual series. One is direct method and another one is step deviation method. In case of direct method, the formula is x bar is equal to summation x upon n. This is the formula. X bar is equal to summation x upon n in case of direct method. In case of shortcut method or deviation method, the formula is x bar is equal to a plus summation d upon n, where d is x minus a. A, you can take any number from x and make it a. I have taken first number as a. In the exam also, you can take first number as a. You take any number, the answer is going to be the same. Okay. So d is x minus a. You just keep on subtracting a, that is 1780, from all the numbers, which is x, all these numbers. Okay, you keep on subtracting and then you total it, that is your summation d. The formula is x bar, that is arithmetic mean, is a plus summation d by n, where summation d is the total of d and n is number of items. Okay. So today we have learned arithmetic mean. Their arithmetic mean can be asked in individual series, discrete series and continuous series. In case of individual series, there are two methods. One is direct method and one is shortcut method or deviation method. And we have learned formula of we have learned two formula: arithmetic mean, individual series, direct method and shortcut method. Okay, that's it for the day, students. Have a great day. Thank you very much. In next class, we will be solving arithmetic mean in case of discrete series.